Hello everybody, and here I am at the workshop. It's thought I'll give you a little update on some of the casting stuff I'm doing, so just bear with me. I'll also turn the camera around. Okay, as you can see, this week I've been busily making moulds, T-sections, curve sections, half curves, corners, straights, X junctions, and my classic little 1/20th slab mould on the go there. For when I get a bit of spare, I always pour it in because I use loads of slabs. Do you know what I mean? 1/20th. So, and as you can see, I've been pretty busy. You know what I mean? Everything's kind of ticking over. It's been a bit of a long haul making the moulds. Do you know what I mean? But you got to make them. I've tried a few different products as well with the mould making situation, so kind of getting a good idea of what I'm using. And that's the resin I'm using at the moment. It's not a bad resin. It's quite nice actually. It's a bit cheaper than the other stuff I was using. These are some of the finished cast pieces. Now I'm quite pleased with this because I wanted to look very irregular. I mean, that piece is quite well defined. And when I studied cobbled sections, I didn't want them all to be nice and even because you just don't get shit like that. It's just a little bit of sanding can be done on a few of these, like before you put them in place. But as I said, these are like the test pieces I was making that I've blacked up. So I'm kind of quite pleased with how they're looking at the moment. And when I'm over here today, just casting some orders, and you can kind of see the layouts are going to be quite versatile when it's done. I'll zoom out enough. You've got plenty of options to do. I mean, even on this corner section here, because of the nature of how cobbles are, you can just stick them together. So you can see you can get a nice deviation. Them are just the basic bits I've made here. So I've got a lot more pieces that I want to make.
I'm going to need a toilet ladder.
And that's Sarah.
Don't
Say
film
hi,
me,
Sarah.
you bastard. Hi, Sarah.
That's my
Product development going on right here,
That's
ladies
it.
and
She's
gentlemen.
in charge of product development. Also cleaning the
Do
gutting.
not put that on your channel.
It's going on, Sarah.
Do not.
Wave to
No.
people.
Me and tell him.
And there's my
He's trying
better
to get
half.
me on his channel.
The gruesome twosome. As you can see, they look kind
We
of
just
similar.
get it on camera that whatever royalties you make, you've agreed to pay me and Melissa 25% each.
15 each.
See, I've been trying to talk these pair into doing twins talk tanks as well. So
That's a go, actually.
That's a whole different channel.
keep your eyes open for twins
I think
talk
we're gonna need
tanks.
a toilet ladder.
Anyway,
Don't film us doing
laters.
this, you wanker.
It's too late. It's done. Well, as you can see, I've been casting away. Now, I think one of the major problems you have with these when you're casting is getting everything the same thickness. So there's a certain amount of trial and error where you've got to volume things, get the measurements right of each ingredients to put in to get the level you want them. As you can see, it's a bit of a thick one. Now, with me, I don't mind sanding stuff down, and I would never really use lay-on terrain. Like to me, I'd buy one of these and I'd mount this into a table or a 2x2 board. But I know some people just want to throw stuff down, so you've got to take that into consideration and try and just get them to at least a decent thickness for somebody that does just want to lie them down. So there is a certain amount of trial and error, because as I said, I like the cobbles to be uneven. I like them to be irregular. Like these little seam lines here, I'd just fill up anyway. And I'd make that look like one solid piece built into the actual table. But as I said, some people want to lie them down, so you've got to try and get these sections as best you can. Do you know what I mean? With as minimum fuss. There's a tiny little bit of sanding on the corner there. As you can see, I mean, even the straights you can butt up like that. As I was saying, it's all learning curve. Everything's a learning curve with this like stuff. And what I'd do with this anyway, if I was making a full table, I'd pull these out of the mould hot and I'd shape them into the actual terrain. So like I could use these as like going up hills and stuff like that. That is basically how the casting is going. As I said, it's a learning curve for everybody because I'm just trying to get the volumes right. And it's a lot of messing around at first, but you know, these things pay off in the long run. Do you know what I mean? The more faffing you do, the better things will get. And it's one of those as well, when you're putting your own money into these things, you've got to try and get them right, because I'm a fussy bugger. Do you know what I mean? I like to do something properly. I like the T-junction, and it's the first cast when I come out of it. I don't mind, and I like how it's nice and uneven. You know what I mean? Not perfectly flat. 'Cause I hate when shit's perfectly flat. Shit in the real world isn't perfectly flat. You know what I mean? You want some deviation in things. And I might make another one of these. I'm not 100%. But as I said, I'm not really going to get a chance to see these in situ unless I make some proper wargaming boards. And at the moment, I'm not actually doing much bloody wargaming. I've done doing none. I'm just making stuff. And it's being the first thing I'm kind of putting my money into make as a product line as well. I'm just trying to really pull out the stops and make it good. But even when you're using different like silicons, look, there's a difference in the silicon qualities. And you have to take all this into consideration. Do you know what I mean? It's not as cut and dry as people think. It's not as easy as people think. There's a lot of work goes into these kind of things. Maybe I should have done a Kickstarter. I'm just joking. I'd rather put my own money in and develop like that, slowly but surely. Anyways, it takes care, and I'll see you soon. Okay, take 3 in the casting room. So I've been busy casting away, getting things worked out properly. I've already decided, after a bit of messing around, that I'm not 100% happy with this section as a lay-on piece, so I'm probably going to make another mould of these. So it's a live and learn kind of thing. If you're not 100% happy with something, I don't think it's right to sell it to somebody else. Do you know what I mean? And as I says, you're only as good as your last job. I mean, I'll keep these moulds because if I ever do any like tabletop commissions, like, or build a board for anybody, it's perfect still, because I like the irregularity of it, and I like the different sizes of it. But I can embed that in a board. Do you know what I mean? Into some foam core, and that'd be sweet. But as I says, I've got to try to tick 2 boxes here. If there's lay-on terrain and stuff to build. Hello again.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
This isn't for public enough.
Okay. Take 4. Right, as I was saying, before my better half piled in, that's what I want to eat. As I was saying, I don't think if you're not 100% happy with something, you shouldn't try and palm it off on somebody else. You should bite the bullet and make a new one. So what I'll do is I'll use a couple of my straight sections here, which I'm pretty happy with. I'll take myself a couple of casts of these for this evening, and I'll cannibalise 2 and make another section. But I mean, what I will do with these pieces I've still got I've got an order that's got to go out to America, so I'll probably just a few of the pieces that are a bit too thick for me. I'll just send them out to the guy, and he can either for nothing, and he can either bin them or keep them. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I don't know what people are going to do with them. So it's one of those. And there's no point me just chucking it in the bin because it might be perfectly good for somebody else. As I said, if he's going to build the boards the same as I do, and build proper like 2x2 boards is perfect. But lay on, not quite as sweet. Anyway, as you can see, more in the moulds. I'd advise anybody to have a good casting. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you've got to volume things and you've got to do stuff like that, which at the moment I'm eyeballing a lot of stuff. This is why I'm getting a few issues. So, but I do recommend anybody should have a go at it. It's kind of fun. It's always nice to be able to make stuff, so. Anyways, I'm going to shut up now. I think I've waffled at you enough and shown you enough casting shit for one day, so. Take cares and peace out.